Hi, good day, guys. Welcome to Speakers Bank podcast. So today we're going to talk about careers, and we have a special guest, Kerryn. She's going to talk about her career's life. So, hi, Kerryn. How are you?
Hi, Camille. Hi, Oya. Lovely to meet you. Lovely to
Yep,
be a
and
guest of this podcast today.
Yep, and me, Camille, and Oya will be the host for today. So,
Thank you.
Oya, is there any questions that you want to ask Kerryn?
No. I've got some things here I'd like to talk about.
All right.
Yeah.
So our first question for you, Kerryn, would be, can you please explain your life as a career person?
Well, I'll just do an introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Kerryn Burgoyne, and I'm a person on the autism spectrum. And today I'm going to talk about my life as a career person. It'll be a bit difficult because I have a lot to remember, but here we go. My life as a career person. I was a school crossing supervisor for 20 years with my local council. So that was a positive bonus. I got that job in October 1999. My boss was one of life's gentlemen, and when I explained about my Asperger's or autism to him, he was very kind and gentle and understanding. The second boss was. The third boss wasn't so gracious about it. So I struggled with work, but I had this job as a backup, and I was extremely lucky that I had it. I tried to look for a lot of jobs in my life. What I actually did was tried some agencies out, tried some disability support agencies out, and one actually said I had to quit my job as a council officer or a school crossing supervisor to say that I'm not working, and I flatly refused to have anything to do with that disability agency. So I continued on. The school crossing was very fulfilling. It made me feel good because I saw kids and I got to know kids and families and things, and people miss you when you were on the crossing. And if you were sick or something like that, they wanted that actual person back. So in a way, it was fantastic, but it was only an hour and a half a day, and I dreamt of looking for a real job, a potential job that I could work until I retire. I also ran my own business for 8 years, so I've done many courses over time, including a small business course, and I ran my own business from 2007 to 2013. That was giving a lot of autism education and training from a personal perspective to the community. I also wrote 6 health life course books, and they were very highly welcomed and utilised. Even just the presentations that I did for them, PowerPoint presentations, they were they were used regularly on a regular basis, and people learned a lot from those course books that I wrote in neighbourhood houses and community centres.
Yeah.
So that's basically been my career. My career now is I'm currently working in a government department doing an administrative role. I've only been given 2 tasks, so I'm looking forward to the next position or the new position I will step into. And I've always wanted to be administrative. I don't know why, but working in the city and working for a government agency or working for a big company like a government department. So my dream came true back in January of 2019. So, 2020. I got the contract, my current contract. So I finished that in December 2022.
Yeah,
so
amazing.
the main roles I'm attracted to are administration, but now I'm looking forward thinking. I'm looking at trying to do some education and training in autism specifically, or disability to hiring managers and hire senior staff and create a unique, diverse place of employment for people with disabilities by the year 2025, and it helped them to encourage their achievement goal of 12% by 2025.
Wow, that's amazing, Kerryn.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, yeah, it definitely sounds like you're attracted to those administrative roles, and it does sound like you can grow in those aspects as well. So that's brilliant.
Yeah, thanks.
Sure.
Yep.
So what do you feel are some difficulties in your work life?
Well, not being accepted was one thing, was the main thing, because people just didn't understand me as a person. And I guess they were looking for someone who already had the skills and the abilities instead of employing people with a disability. People can't see my disability because I have a neurological disorder. It's in my brain. But I'm very unique and different. People just don't like people who are like that. You know, they want them straight, on the straight and narrow kind of thing.
And that mustn't have been easy. So how did you overcome those difficulties?
You try to explain things to people. You try to explain yourself to people, and there's some people who will accept you and others don't. So you just got to move on from those people. So
kind of all about educating them, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But look, I've studied a lot over my lifetime. I've done a lot of courses just for something to do and upgrade my skills in the admin field. But I hadn't studied since 2005, so it was quite a long time. So in 2017, in the middle of 2016 actually, I decided that I wanted to change my life. And that was a really big decision for me. I couldn't get over it for the fact that I had spoken those words out of my mouth. Yeah. So I found myself at Melbourne Polytechnic at Greensborough in over here in the northeastern suburbs of Melbourne. And I did a course, and it was only one subject, and the teacher told me that I would fail the whole course because I was so dumb and stupid. So I had to repeat that class again over in Preston, over at their campus there in Preston. And then in the middle of 2018, I enrolled at uni at RMIT, and I did a diploma in business administration. So I was finished that by the middle of 2019 in June. And then RMIT was strongly connected to Australian Network on Disability, or AND for short. And then I got an internship, but because I hadn't been in that government department, they found that I had so many problems with behaviour and all that kind of thing. But it was me just trying to fit in, because the working life of a school crossing supervisor, and you're standing out in the street day in, day out, is quite different to being in the office. So having a government email address, and being given your own computer to work on was just such a shock for me. So I did a lot of work. They sent me an email, and I had to send an email on the first day, and it was just sort of fitting in and connecting with a lot of people, and I ended up making a lot of friends and calling them my family over there at Atwood. So I feel like I was able to grow there, but my current role, I feel like it's time for me to move on. But the difficulties of being COVID, which has been the main thing that's held us back from being in the office and doing a whole lot more stuff in office admin. But I've also had quite a few medical issues to deal with the last year. So I was in and out of hospital earlier this year, 2021, and last year, 2020, for a couple of major operations I needed. I feel like my managers don't understand me as a person. I feel like they're on a different par or keel to me. I feel like they're in their jobs, and they've given me these crappy jobs to do because they don't want to do them. And I thought I was going to do some more admin tasks,
Yeah.
And next year we're hoping to go back to the office, but who knows what's going to happen between now and Christmas.
Yeah.
Karen, can you give us an example on how did your ex, the boss that you're telling us your difficulties that you're just telling us now?
They're not
So-
giving me clear instructions of what to do. So, for example, I've been doing transcriptions.
Yes.
So the boss hands me a document and says, "Oh, fill this in."
Yeah.
But it was like, how do you generate them? So with Microsoft Teams, it's saved into Microsoft Stream on Office 365.
Yeah.
But this is a thing that I have learned. So it was just learning to generate that, and then someone sent me a link to actually clean off all the timestamps and all the rubbish that it generates, because you can have a 50, 60-page document.
Wow.
Yeah.
So once that's done, you have to copy this, but then they didn't give me clear instructions on to put the text and the times and who spoke, what time, when in that particular document. So there was a lack of communication,
Yes.
I feel, on my behalf, that they didn't give those clear instructions to me in the first place, which I did. And I suggested ways that they could work with me, and that was ignored as well. And then I was threatened with the sack if I didn't do any any transcriptions for them, and I had 8. So I technically had to download them, which I wasn't supposed to do. I had to download them from their computer to mine, and I went away for 4 days to Warrnambool because I was still mourning the death of a friend of mine last year. And I had to literally sit in a motel room and do those crappy, scrungy transcriptions and then upload them just before I had finished for the year. But when I went into hospital and I was desperately sick in the emergency department, the only thing I was worried about is getting this last transcription done before Christmas.
Wow.
And I was at the point where I had my gallbladder out, and I was at the point where if they didn't operate, I was going to end up in ICU with sepsis, and I could have died.
Yeah.
Had that surgeon not I asked him to call me, and he had done that operation, I would have died from an inflamed gallbladder. And all I was worried about was doing her stupid blooming transcriptions.
Wow.
And I had to speak to the director, and I said, "Hey, I'm in ICU. I've been here since 2:15 this morning, 2:30 this morning, that morning. We were ready to go. We were going up to my sister's for Christmas, and I said, I've got to do my boss's transcription. I've got to get out of here and get home and do it before the end of Christmas period."
Yeah.
And the most comforting words he said to me was, "Relax. I'll let her know. You can do them after the new year." And that heavy weight just fell from my shoulders. But all I was worried about. So, and because we have internal networks, I was told to go and find a new job if I wasn't happy with being participating in the networks, because there are autism networks that I was interested in, but I wasn't getting my work done, but I didn't know how to balance the two of them.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of difficulty there. They've told me that when COVID hit, I didn't really need this connection to the internal filing system, that I needed to work from home because, it's not going to be applicable to you. And being a computer tech head, I knew when the computer needed upgrading and when it had to be rewiped and reloaded on with Windows. And I was told, "Don't worry about it." Well, what can I do? I can't work because the computer needs fixing. I need to go to town and drop it off at our IT department to get it fixed. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So they're the difficulties I've had with work, because there's been no communication and a lack of understanding of what's actually been going on. And I've wanted to do more tasks, but then they've said the job is just the job. And I've asked for assistance, and you just go round and round in bloody circles because you just don't get any answers. They keep referring you on to someone, and there's no one there within that department to actually you can refer back to actually tell them about these problems and get something done about it. And it just stinks. It really just stinks.
I think
It sucks as well.
Yeah, it goes to show how important clear communication in the workplace really is, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And that's the same with a Necto or Speakers Bank or whoever else you work for. It's you've got to keep those communication lines open. And
definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So they're the difficulties I've experienced just with work in the last 18 months. But with finding work, it's been difficult. You send in email after email after email with job applications. But one thing I did find, if you don't have your initial and your last name, or your first name and last name at a Gmail or a Hotmail or a Yahoo address, you'll instantly get rejected for your job application, because if a manager sees your address saying hotsexkitten69 at hotmail.com or Camille.
Very inappropriate.
Something, you've got to have something appropriate.
Yeah.
So if you Oya didn't have your Yelins, whatever it is, at gmail.com, you had Oya Oya Pony or something, 65 1427 8910 or something at gmail.com. Hiring managers can look at that and say, no, that application goes in the bin.
Yeah, I think I had an email as temptress at one stage, so I thought I'd change that up a little bit.
I always use my full name and that's it. For the rest of my life.
It's about professional.
But that's why I have two emails. I have two emails, one for home or one for personal.
Yeah.
And one for business.
Yeah.
So I've operated on one account when I had my business, but I couldn't operate on it as a personal account. It was more of a business account. So I've got two to separate between business and personal.
Yeah.
And I keep those both separate. But I know with Gmail what you can do is you can have all your email accounts in one, and then you can check one mailbox. But those mailboxes that you have going through that you don't log into, those mailboxes fill up over time when you don't log into them and clear them out. So that's why I just kept two separate emails for two different separate occasions.
That's true. So, Kerryn, I just want to ask a question. So, what is the one thing about working that really motivates you to keep doing your best in your roles?
Well, it's the regular pay that keeps me going because I need to pay my bills.
Fair enough.
But it's but it's more that I guess you want to maintain that career and have that on your resume as, yes, you completed that particular role. So that will be more impressive when you next apply for a job for the next hiring manager. But what keeps me going is, this work is boring as crap, as shit. Don't edit that out. But I just feel that, this is my job and I'm very lucky to have one. I'm extremely lucky to have one at the moment, because so many people are struggling with COVID at the moment and struggling with no money or just relying on the government. So having a job keeps me going, even though I don't like it. I didn't like going to the crossing some days because it'd be 6-7 degrees or 2 degrees and it'd be absolutely freezing, or 40 degrees in summer and you'd be so hot and you get dehydrated, you drink water and everything. So there's the ins and outs of every job, but my thing keeps me going is I'm bloody well self-determined. I'm so strong, nothing can hold me back. I've been knocked down so many times. I'm just so resilient, so determined to get back up again.
They're all really good qualities to have too.
Nothing can hold me back. So even if I finish this role, I'll just put it down to experience. And it's just like, close the door. My future, I don't know what my future holds at the moment. I've got this role for another 12 months or so, but I'm just thinking, well, that was just that particular time in my life. There were the experiences that I've had to contend with. I don't care. I'll just close the door and move on. I'm just looking forward to moving into my next role. So what keeps me going is just sheer determination, sheer bloody determination of I'll keep positive. Walking keeps me going. So this afternoon I'll go out for a walk somewhere. So COVID has been absolute crap in a lot of ways, but walking and maintaining your health is the best thing you can do. But
good advice. Yeah.
I'm looking for a better role, and I'm just looking forward to what's going to be in front of me. But what keeps me going is, I guess, just me as a person, just my sheer determination. I just do my best and do what I can do, and I know that what I've done. See, my manager has. I was speaking to my manager and I was showing him all the stuff that I have done, and he said, "Oh, you're boasting." That's putting down to boasting. None of us all tell other people about what we've done, but we should be all proud of the fact that we have contributed something.
And I think they need to realise there's a difference between boasting and being proud. So you're allowed
I
to
said
be
I was proud.
Well.
He told me that I was just boasting, but I'm just proud of what I've done. I've only done transcriptions and boring old link checking, but at least I've done something towards the current project I'm involved in.
Yeah.
And hey, it may not sound much. It may not sound much at all, but hey, I'm
but you're
proud of what I've done.
Yeah,
absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
But others don't see it that way, so
that's really sad that they don't see your worth or see another person's worth like that.
Another team I have worked with. This is very therapeutic, by the way. Edit that out. But another team I've been working with had accepted me, and I had done a bit of work for them, and I feel more comfortable working with them than this other team. But now all the work is just shunted down to one manager instead of two, because I was initially doing 2 days for one and then 2 days for another, and doing 4 mornings a week. And one day was supposed to be 1.5 days was supposed to be for this other team that I'm working for, and then the other one for the other team. So I had 2 teams in total, but they just ended up having no work to do. Now, if I was in the office, they would probably generate heaps of work for me to do, and I'd be able to do it. But as time's gone on, it's just gone down to one thing. So whatever she says goes. But I'm only doing the same menial, boring 2 tasks that I'm doing now, but it's just my determination. It's just I'll just get up tomorrow and Friday, and then start my course, and then that will keep me going even more, because I'll have something else to focus on and look forward to. But I've got some other things in the pot that's bubbling away, so I'm just waiting to hear what's sort of going on with that as well. But yeah, that's what keeps me going in my role at the moment.
Beautiful. So
sorry for the long explanation.
No, not at all.
No, it's so good. Yeah, that's very good. It's very good. Good advice with our viewers as well, Kerryn, because they definitely watching this, and same experience that you had, and how you overcome those difficulties, that's very good. Yeah,
definitely. So that was all the questions we had for today, but I just want to quickly mention you actually have your own little business or your own little website that you're working on currently?
My website is klb.io. Yep. I haven't got it up as a business yet, because there's no way with COVID that I can go out and visit schools or anything like that.
Yep.
I've set up another business, KLB Consulting, but then there's other big businesses out there who do a lot of education and training, and they've been around for, years and years and years.
Yep.
And they've got pieces of paper and qualifications up their sleeves and halfway back down their arms, up their arms and halfway back, I was meant to say. But nothing takes the place of a knowledge of someone who's actually living with autism or Asperger's syndrome or disorder. So, my website is klb.io or klbconsulting.net.au, which I've got that other domain name, but it's mainly with klb.io at the moment.
Yeah.
So that just lists all the courses that I've written, some of the podcasts that I've recorded.
And is that
my training resume
as well?
It lists all the books. It lists under the courses page, but it also lists all the past events and all the positive feedback I received from going interstate in Queensland and Far North Queensland, which was absolutely beautiful. It was lovely that time. That was a long time ago, back in 2009, I think. I've got my training resume up there, a gallery of a few photos that were taken of me during some talks that I did, particularly back in 2019. So it just sort of describes me as a person and what I like to do, and just be an advocate for the community, basically. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but I'm looking towards some goals next year of hopefully going out to some businesses and stuff and giving some powerful presentations on life stories of employing people with disabilities or employing people with autism or something like that. Yeah. So I'm hoping I can do that. So I've got a few lists of contacts there. I'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. But I can't interfere with my other job. So depending on my job and what I get as well, it'll just have to sit there in the background. But the website there just describes me as a person, and kind of like a resume website as well. So,
So if any of our listeners would like to head over to Kerryn's website to have a look at some of the content she's written a few books to help carers and employees, just for a bit more support. Well. Yep. So feel free to head over to Kerryn's website and have a look.
And that website is https://K for kitten, L for Larry, B for Bob, .I for igloo, O for orange, klb.io or klbconsulting.net.au. You can email me there as well on the contact us page.
Thank you for that, Kerryn, and thank you for joining us today for this podcast. It's been absolutely lovely talking to you.
No worries. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe, and we'll see you again next time.
Hey,
bye.
Bye.